This video is sponsored by Adorama. What's going on, guys? I am back with the Mavic 3 Classic, and there is one feature on here, which is a new feature that they put on the Mavic 3 Classic, but they're also going to be pushing it out to all of the other Mavic 3s via a firmware update, and that is the cruise control mode. Now, I briefly talked about cruise control in my main Classic video. If you guys haven't seen that video, it'll be linked above as well as down below in the video description. But what I didn't mention in that video is just all of the different ways to use cruise control, because there's definitely a few different things you want to think about when you're up there flying. And one thing you might want to know, does obstacle avoidance work while you're in cruise control mode? If you're out there flying and it's going forward at a nice steady pace, but you might come up on a tall tree, light post, or a building, will obstacle avoidance work, and does it stay on in the app? So let's talk about some of those things in this video. And before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor, Adorama. If those aren't familiar with Adorama, Adorama is one of the largest, most reputable online retail stores that specializes in all of your electronics, your camera gear, lenses, microphones, lighting equipment, and these right here, drones like the DJI, Autel, and even Skydio. With the release of this one right here, the DJI Mavic 3 Classic, they currently do have them in stock if you're looking at getting the RC bundle. But the great thing about Adorama is that they also have their own custom kits with accessories in there that's also included in the price. So if you're looking for something like the Mini 3 Pro, you can actually buy the Mini 3 Pro with a Fly More combo, and you can get anywhere between $50 to $200 worth of free accessories, things like a landing pad, a bag, sometimes a memory card. So if you're on the market for a drone or a camera, definitely check out Adorama. You're gonna be spending about the same price, if not just a little bit more, but you're gonna get a ton of free accessories with that same package. Links to all these products will be down below in the video description. Let's get back to cruise control. All right, so in order for you to set up cruise control, you have to assign it to one of the shortcut buttons here on the back of the remote control. So the first thing you wanna do is go into your menu and go over to Control, second tab over, scroll down. You're gonna go to Button Customization. And as you can see here right now, the C1 button, which is right here, I have it set to cruise control. You can have it set to a couple of different things here. You wanna make sure that's set to cruise control. And then C2 button is whatever you wanna set it to. I like to do the tilt, the gimbal tilt up and down. Once you do that, let's go ahead and put the drone up in the air, and then we'll test out a few different ways to use cruise control. But what we're gonna do now is get the drone up and test out a few different things that you can do with cruise control. So the first thing we'll do is, of course, do a pretty standard fly straight. So if you wanna go straight at a specific speed, all you have to do is press the right stick, just go forward, and we will go, maybe we'll just go about 10 miles an hour there, and then hit C1, okay? And now you'll see at the screen, it says cruise control is in use. So without me touching the sticks right now, we're at 11 miles an hour, and it's a nice steady flight, just straight forward. Now that's just going straight forward. Now you can actually do the same thing going backwards. So let's go backwards here, pull back on the right joystick, and then hit cruise control, C1, and there you go. Now we're going backwards at about 10 miles an hour. And one thing you might not know is that you can also go left to right. So if you want to go to the right, so if I go right and then hit cruise control, there you go. It's automatically going there to the right. And let's go back left, hit cruise control, and there you go. The drone's automatically going across this dried up lake bed here. Now, the one thing I really like about cruise control is that you can get dynamic with your movements. So if I wanted to go forward and to the right, you're able to do that. And also if you wanted to do some elevation, you could do that as well. So let's do all three of those moves at the same time. So let's go forward and to the right. And then at the same time, I'm gonna move my left stick up just a little bit, so the drone should rise. And then I can hit cruise control. And there you go. As you can see here, we have elevation is moving, height is moving up slowly. The distance is moving away, of course, because we're going away. And we're moving to the right, which is really cool. So you're able to then add in a bunch of different, more complex, I would say, controls that if you're trying to do it manually for a long period of time, it actually is pretty difficult. When you start comboing a bunch of these stick moves together, this is when you get really dynamic moves. And the one thing that's great is that not only can you use the sticks, you can also use the gimbal at the same time. So let's do that similar move. Let's just go forward towards the hillside here, And I also want to go forward. I want to rise. While I'm rising, I can then use my gimbal and start bringing that gimbal pointed down. We are going to go up. Hit cruise. Okay, so now we are going up. We're elevating. The drone is going to the right just a little bit. And you can see the height changing there. And while it's also going up, I can just pull down on this gimbal, pull left. And then now we can actually get a nice smooth tilt downward on the gimbal. That's cool. Another way you can use cruise control is that if you're moving the drone in a specific direction, you can also turn the drone a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna move the drone to the left while I'm turning it to the right and then hitting cruise. There you go. Now the drone's moving to the left while turning slowly to the right. Nice little parallax movement, get that reveal of the lake there in the background. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick battery swap, but while it's coming back to me, I'll show you one more feature you can do here. So if I'm gonna come back towards me, I can put it in cruise control. And while it's in cruise control, you can actually still use your sticks. So if I wanna bring the drone lower, I could do that right here. The drone is coming down. I'm just pulling that drone stick down left while it's still in cruise control. So you're gonna maintain that speed. If I want to turn the drone, I'm able to turn it just by using that left stick again. And it's maintaining the speed whichever way I go. All right, so one thing that you might want to know, does obstacle avoidance work? So if you're out there flying and you're going to come up on some tree that you can't really see, will obstacle avoidance work? Of course, it only works in cine as well as in normal mode. If you're in sport mode, obstacle avoidance will not work at all anyways. Let's go at a little bit faster speed now. $10 miles. Oh, went around it. Oh, there you go. Stop right at it. Oh, there you go. I actually thought it was going to hit this one on the left, but I guess there was a lot more room than I thought. So there you go. That one worked at 10 miles an hour. Wasn't a problem there. And next thing I want to test out is does the side sensors work? And then let's go to the left side. Hit cruise. It is going in cruise and coming up on the tree right about now, and there you go. Good. All right, so at least we know that cruise control, optical avoidance works while cruise control is on. So that's a good thing. Like I said, if it's in sport mode and you're going a lot faster, optical avoidance is disabled anyways. Another good use case here is I can track sideways knowing I have obstacle avoidance on. And I can just set a nice slow pace so I can actually film myself. It's really good for those solo content creators out there. Now you can pilot the drone, set the cruise control on, then you can be in a shot and not have to worry too much about trying to get it exact. And even though, like I said, you can use some of the smart features of intelligent modes, having it at a very easy, slow pace for you to go at makes it a lot easier. This is a new feature on the Mavic 3 Classic, and like I mentioned before, it should be pushed out to all of the other Mavic 3 drones, the Mavic 3 as well as the Cine. So if you do already have those drones, then you should be good to go. Just wait for that firmware update. But definitely a very, very powerful new tool for you to use while you're out there shooting. If you guys do like this type of content, make sure you guys do like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see more Mavic 3 videos, I'll leave a playlist down below in the video description. Thanks again to our sponsor of the video, Adorama. Make sure you guys check out those links if you guys are looking for some customized kits at little to no cost to you. This is Alton Anastasio with FlytPath.com. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.